Hey everybody, Aaron Blaze here, and welcome to a special live stream today. Many of you know that we are going to be doing a animation boot camp this week, and so we're not live streaming for the next 2 weeks on our normal day, which is Friday. And so today we're doing a special live stream, and we're teaming up with our good friends over at New Masters Academy, because in September, in mid-September, I am heading over to New Masters Academy in Colorado. And this is going to be really cool. And I'm going to be teaching for a full week animal drawing. It's going to be very, very cool. So I thought today it would be a lot of fun to do some animal drawing with you guys. Traditional animal drawing. I'm sitting at my animation desk. And we'll do a little bit of that. Then we're going to jump over to their Discord. And we're going to, after we're done, about 15 minutes after we're finished, we're going to jump over to their Discord and we're going to do some questions and answers over there. So, and then obviously today, you guys are more than welcome to ask questions, and I'll give the best answer I've got. I've got Nick over here. I've got Dustin over here.
Hey, everybody.
And we're ready to draw. So
yeah, we're going to do some animal drawing today in preparation for the animal workshop at New Masters Academy, or New Masters Village, rather. That is a new artistic village. It's over 60 acres in southern Colorado. Aaron's going to be there in mid-September. The first week of September, Glenn Vilpoo's going to be there. It's really envisioned as like a Renaissance artistic retreat. What's really great about it is it's not just a classroom environment. It's designed around getting out into nature. So in Aaron's workshop, there's going to be a half a day spent with demos. But then you're going to be encouraged to go out, go horseback riding, go out and enjoy the lakes, go out and enjoy the mountains. Go out and
don't
enjoy
listen to me all day. Get out and have some fun.
Yeah. So we're going to take some questions. If you want to learn more, you can go to newmastersvillage.com. Caleb from New Masters Academy says, "Let's go, Aaron. So excited to see you in September."
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so one of the things we'll be drawing while we're there live is horses. And so I thought it'd be fun to start with some horse drawing today. I've got, as many of you know, if you've taken any of my courses, you know I've got horse drawing lessons on my site. And I'm starting with pencil, and I was using some marker the other day and I really enjoyed it. And so I'm going to finish this up with marker and some brush pen. But I'm going to take you guys through anatomy lessons. I'm going to talk about, if you come out to the workshop, I'm going to be talking about comparative anatomy. We all have the same parts, a lot of, especially as mammals. And we have the same parts. We're just kind of proportioned differently. So I love to talk about, human anatomy compared to various animals and how we're the same and how we're different. And when I made that discovery as a young artist, it was a huge light bulb that went off for me. And so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about that as well. And then we're just going to talk about specific anatomy on specific animals. And then we're going to talk about gesture drawing and how do I capture animals in action and with movement when they're in front of you.
We've got a question on Twitch and a question on YouTube that are both very similar. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of combine them.
Sure.
Someone asked, is that a Prismacolor? And the other person said, what color name of this pencil, please?
Oh, this is a Prismacolor, and it is Carmine Red. Carmine?
Is there any?
Carmine.
Erica says, yay, horses.
Yay.
Yeah, quite a lot of folks on TikTok are saying the same thing, saying they love it or saying horses. Yay.
Horses.
Yay.
I love it. I love drawing horses, by the way. I love it, love it, love it. I'm drawing his head a little big, so I'm going to pull that back a little.
If you have any questions about the workshop or anything specifically, let us know. We'll be happy to answer those as well. New Masters Academy says our horses are friendly and our wranglers make sure everyone feels comfortable before riding.
Oh, that's great. Because that's important.
And the dates for Aaron's workshop are September 14th through 20th.
Hey, Dustin.
Yeah.
I hear our little dog outside barking to come in. Can you let Vedanta know?
Yeah. Or do you want me to just bring her in?
Well, it's a little hard to get through there. Or you can just bring her in, yeah. Sorry, guys. My little dog, Lilu, is outside barking. So one of the big things, and we'll talk about this a lot, is proportion. When you're drawing animals and you want to get accuracy, one of the biggest things is proportion, right?
Joey Mildenberg is watching.
Joey?
Hey, Joey. And he says, I've got a beach full of those horses in front of me right now.
Yeah, every photo you post, I think it's Planet of the Apes.
He lives out in the west coast of the U.S.
In Oregon, yeah.
In Oregon, and Joey Mildenberger has an amazing course on 2D effects animation available on our website. Lots of people saying hi. Hey, Joey. So glad you're able to tune in. Yeah, the pictures you post are unbelievable.
Monolith on TikTok has a question. Do you recommend learning to draw on paper before drawing on the tablet?
Nowadays it's, for me, I'm old school, so I would normally say yes, but as long as you're drawing, it does. If you have a tablet, draw on the tablet. If you got paper, obviously paper's more accessible. It really does. Just don't use the lack of a tablet as an excuse. There's always something to draw on. When I was a kid, I learned to draw on torn up paper bags, grocery bags. That's what I learned to draw on.
What kind of pencil are you currently using?
I'm using a Prismacolor Carmine Red pencil. So one of the things I always think about as I'm drawing, I can show you this now, is I like to think of the animal broken up into 6 shapes. Any of you that have ever heard me lecture about animal drawing, you'll hear me talk about this and drone on about it all incessantly. And that's talking about...
your head was blocking just for a second.
That's all right.
Just a heads up.
I think about the head as one section, the neck, the shoulders and front legs, the trunk of the body, this midsection, the torso, then the pelvic area and back legs, and then the tail. And it's interesting because these parts, they have this alternating, they go back and forth between rigidity, which is, rigid and solid, and flexibility. So you've got a rigid skull, a flexible neck, a rigid shoulder area, and especially in the spine, and front legs. But I'm definitely talking about the spine. So the neck is flexible. The midsection, or the top part of the shoulders, this part in the except for side to side is rigid. Then you've got a flexible midsection of the spine here, and then the pelvic area is rigid because that's a solid bone, and then you got a flexible tail. It goes back and forth.
Again, for people just joining us, I want to let them know that we're going to be here. This is a special Monday live stream. We're doing this with New Masters Academy in conjunction with them. We're simulcasting across all of our channels. We're on Twitch, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, we're on New Masters Academy's YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're everywhere. On TikTok. I want to let you know that after, we're going to be here 60 to 90 minutes or so doing animal drawing, and then right after this, we're going to jump on over to the New Masters Academy Discord, where Aaron is going to be a special guest doing a Q&A. So I'm going to post a link here on the channels, and we'll hop on over there about 15 minutes after we're here, after we wrap up here. So I'll make sure to let everybody know. I'll post it again before the end, but I just posted a link in the chat there.
So one of the things I also like to think about is that gestural, you've got all the parts that I was talking about, but you want them to come together in a nice fluid way. And so I'm thinking about the fluid shape through the body right here. See, you got gestural kind of S shape through the body right here. And I like to get, especially with poses like this, I like to get strong poses like this, nice kind of straight from the ground, boom, right up into the neck. It gives it some thrust. He's pushing. And you tend to, even if in a still drawing like this, you can feel weight. And then I've tried to get that to flow right into the tail. And I'm trying to get the same thing here. Here I've got a bent knee right there, but right there I've got a nice straight. And notice how these, the front left leg and it's the rear right leg, they're opposite, but they're basically taking the same pose. This is almost a trot right here is what's happening.
How long have you been learning to draw?
I'm 57 years old and I've been drawing since I was about 9 months old. So do the math. A long time. I always like to say I started drawing when the Beatles were still a band and Jimi Hendrix was playing guitar.
And I've got a couple of animal-specific questions, animal drawing questions. One question was, how do I study... oh, wait, hold on. It just pushed away. 1 second.
I hate that.
It completely pushed away. Sorry about that.
The markers I'm using today are Olo markers.
Someone comment says, I'd love to see a pigeon in your style.
A pigeon?
A pigeon.
Don't pigeonhole me.
Oh, here it is. This is, how would I go about combining the anatomy of two different creatures to make something that looks complete, like a centaur? I feel like many people have trouble making the two parts look like one creature.
Yes, they do. And a lot of that comes from understanding the anatomy and what would happen. You know, it's sort of like Pegasus, right? You know, if you give a horse some wings, how would you really make that? How would that really happen in nature? What would that really look like? And that's when it comes down to understanding the physics of what muscles do and skeletal structure. And so it's really understanding that skeletal structure underneath and how the muscles work and all of that. And once you understand that from a biological standpoint, you can start kind of accurately or semi-accurately creating creatures that are, you know, in the vein of what you're talking about. You know, if you look at Avatar and some of the creatures they created in Avatar, very much in that vein.
And a question from the New Masters Academy website or YouTube from Rob. I'm drawing an owl on a branch. For composition, I am wondering if the branch is leading the viewer out of the picture. Should I put a branch pointing back to the owl?
If it's leading the viewer out, yeah, sure, yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to say without seeing it, but you want to get the eye to flow through the composition.
Do those markers work well with a lot of different paper types?
Yes, they do. I love these markers.
YouTube question: do you underdraw your watercolors with colored pencils too? I think I saw Jenny Medved did that.
Jenny Medved does it more than I do, but I have done that in the past. It just depends. I work the different mediums that I work in. I do them any number of different ways. I try to just use them in the way that I need to have them work in that moment. So I don't have any hard, fast ways of working in any medium. Although, you know, when I'm teaching watercolor or I teach charcoal or oil painting, there's definitely a specific approach that I teach. But the more you get familiar with a medium, the more you can do all kinds of stuff with it. And so, like mixing mediums, like mixing colored pencil and watercolor. I've also used acrylic under oil painting, or
Your head's a little in the shot.
oh, there we go. Sorry. So here I'm just creating a tone, and I like this. I like to go kind of loose.
And Nibbler on the New Masters
Nibbler.
on the New Masters Academy YouTube asks, is there a way we can get a peek at the reference that you have off screen to see somehow while he works?
Yes.
And someone else commented, wow, it looks like he's barely looking at the reference.
I am barely looking at the reference because the reference is there as a suggestion especially when I go live, I don't like to sit there and just try to find a pose. And we've got some really great stuff that Dustin has shot. And so I like to use it. And so like for here, and you'll see, I'm not a slave to the reference. This is a very ugly printout, but it's a suggestion for a pose. But you'll see that I'm really pushing the pose and making the pose more dynamic. And I do that because of the knowing how horses are put together. So yes, it's okay to use that reference. And I put my cap somewhere. Where did I put my cap?
How does your back not get sore?
My back? Oh, I usually draw straight up and down. Oh, that's why. My cap was on the other end.
Constantaneous on YouTube asked, how do I study your courses for memorization and understanding? Do you recommend I study repetitive and deliberate drawings while watching along with breaks, or should I go for hours on end?
You do whatever feels comfortable. When I get into the zone, I like to draw for hours on end, but you should take breaks too. So, but it's really just whatever you feel comfortable doing.
And Julie wants to know, Aaron, during your New Masters Academy or New Masters Village retreat, will you be drawing from life?
Yes, we're going to be drawing horses, a lot of farm animals, horses, goats, chickens, pigs, all kinds of fun stuff. And then we're also, I've got tons of video. I mean, lots of videos. Matter of fact, that's something we're going to be releasing soon as well. We've got tons of video that we've shot from all over the world. Africa, Montana, wild animals. And so I'm going to be bringing that with me to show, first of all, examples of anatomy and that sort of thing, but how I use video to help me become familiar with specific animals as well. And so we're going to be drawing from video, and I'm going to be talking about some of those techniques. And then we're going to draw from life. So we're going to gradually work our way up to drawing from life.
Speaking of video, that's a good time to mention the fine folks at New Masters Academy sent us a little testimonial video of some of their past students and their experiences. I think it might be a good time to run that video. Dustin, the testimonials one?
Testimonial.
Just absolutely transformative. That's one of the best experiences of my life.
I love being in this environment where everybody's working really hard.
The instructors put together a lot of very meaningful work.
This workshop was just such an amazing opportunity to take those drawing concepts, put them into 3D.
And sort of being able to have those realizations as you go along, it's just invaluable.
I cannot wait to take what I've learned and apply it.
I just was astounded at how far people came to be a part of this. That just speaks volumes for the reputation of New Masters and the caliber of instructors that they have.
And we're back. I was whispering, are we mute?
Actually, to be honest, we might have been. I wasn't sure, so I erred on the side of caution.
TikTok, someone asked, if I join your class, will I draw like this?
Yes, with lots of practice.
You'll go in as amateur, you'll come out as a master the very same day.
I've been drawing for a long, long time.
I tell my son all the time, how do you get better at anything? And his always answer is practice.
That's right. One of the things I love about marker is just you can be so loose with it. And then I like to go in with a brush pen. And because I'm left-handed, I got to work from right to left. But I love these Bimoji brush pens.
Nibbler asks, general question for the chat. Does anyone know good resources for learning watercolor? Well, I know that New Masters Academy, they have courses, painting courses on their website. And on Aaron's website, creatureartteacher.com, we also have a variety of watercolor courses taught by Aaron as well as other instructors. Watercolor was actually Aaron's first love.
Yeah, it was my first medium that I started outside of drawing that I started learning when I was 8 years old.
Your head's in the shot, Aaron. completely in it. There we go. You're good now.
What kind of markers are these?
These are Copic. I'm not sorry, not Copic. These are Olo markers.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt what you were saying though, Aaron, but you were just blocking exactly where you were drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and try to move it up just a tad. Get that all.
Sorry, I have to get over here just so I can do the tail.
Of course. There's a slight adjustment. Do the trick.
Tom says from the NMA channel says, I was at the Santa Fe retreat and I can say that anything that New Masters does is way beyond any expectations. If you can attend the village experience, you have to take this opportunity.
That's awesome. I'm excited to go myself.
Yeah, to be honest, we're a little bit jealous. Aaron and I have been talking about buying property or having our own art retreat for about 10 years now. And it's kind of like they're living our dream, man.
Yeah.
But it's super cool. We're hoping that this becomes the first of many, many collaborations with them. We're very excited.
Just bring the camera a little bit more forward.
We're
Adjusting the angle.
readjusting.
Readjusting. Collaborating. Or no, it's calibrating. There we go. I think I should do it.
One of the things I love about brush pens is the organic quality of the brush. It's not a mechanical, thin, consistent line. It's thick, it's thin, it's spontaneous.
Here's a question. Hey, Aaron, later today, I'm starting a weekly activity with my 12-year-old niece where we watch your animation courses.
Hey,
How can I encourage her to keep animating without getting overwhelmed?
exactly what you just said. Keep on animating me. Don't get overwhelmed. No, I mean, it's all about not putting too much pressure on them. And I think it's interesting to me, a lot of kids nowadays, because of social media, because they're inundated with all these different artists, I see so many young artists that rather than being inspired by other great artists out there, they start comparing themselves and they get down that they're not as good. And rather than looking at things in that light, look at other people that you admire and learn from them. See what is it that they're doing that you're admiring, and be inspired. That's how I learned. And that, I think that is a healthy approach, especially for a lot of young artists nowadays.
New Master says, we are thrilled for the collaboration. Our community has been asking for Aaron for a long time. It's wonderful to be working together.
Oh yeah, definitely. I am really happy about it.
And Julia on Facebook says, this horse is coming out so amazing. Wow, I just love the brush pen details.
Yeah, the brush pen really pulls it together. Hey, Julia.
Lion on TikTok says, I just watched Lion King again. I still can't believe the animation.
Yeah, I can't believe it either.
And Jem says, it's so hard to get there from Europe. We need New Masters Village Europe. Never say never.
Yeah, I know Mr. Vilpoo does quite a bit of stuff in Europe. We've been to Europe 3 times this year.
Could it be? Evil Lou says, we need a tutorial, please.
Quick question. Would you ever make another full-length movie like Disney's Brother Bear?
You know what? If I had the opportunity, I would. We're in the process of developing 3 different feature ideas right now, and it's just a matter of figuring out how to get them done. So we're trying. Is my head still in the way?
Nope, you're good. YouTube comment, Aaron loves horsing around with those Olo markers.
Yes,
huh?
I do. You're fired.
Can I find a pigeon drawn in your style?
What's that?
Can I find or yeah?
Are we bound the pigeon?
Drawn in your style?
It's a pigeon again?
Pigeon again.
Someone likes pigeons.
Clearly. Do you use and post art on Instagram?
Yes. Aaron Blaze Art.
Yeah, all of our social media is Aaron Blaze Art, Blaise. If you're not familiar, I will post a link in the chat. Be sure to follow us there on Instagram, on Facebook, Twitch. Anima asks, what's the #1 art book you would recommend to students?
Wow. That's a good one.
I mean, given the animation background, I know you usually recommend.
Yeah, The Illusion of Life is such a great book for animation. And it's funny, I don't, even when I was younger, I mean, I was a big Frazetta nut when I was really young, and I bought Frazetta's books and that sort of thing. But as far as like really academic art books, I didn't buy a lot of those. I learned through doing. And, you know, Tara Whitlatch is, if you're interested in creature design, Tara Whitlatch has some amazing books. There's some great stuff. Oh, you know what? You know a book I had when I was young, and I still really love his stuff. And I know it's really pushed and it's kind of crazy, and some people don't like him, but I loved him. Was Bern Hogarth, Dynamic Anatomy.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Bern Hogarth.
Absolutely.
Do you do commissions?
No, not so much anymore.
I feel so honored being able to watch your lives.
Oh, thank you. Well, I feel honored having you here.
Can you refill that brush pen, and what type of paper can accept those Prismacolor pencils you see, including that?
Good question. So the paper I'm using is Olo Premium Marker Blend paper. So it takes the marker really well, but it also takes the pencil, it takes the brush pen, it takes all of it really, really well. You just got to be careful with taping. If you use the wrong kind of tape, it will tear the paper. But it's a really wonderful paper. And then, what was the other question? Sorry.
Is the brush pen refillable?
Oh, the brush pen is not refillable. These are not refillable. They're very cheap, but yes, unfortunately, they're not refillable. So I order about 30 or 40 of these at a time.
And I'll post it. It's Bimoji, Bimoji, right?
Yes.
Did you help animate The Last Unicorn?
I did not. No. But I worked on Beauty and the Beast. I worked on Aladdin. And I worked on The Rescuers Down Under and The Lion King.
Oh, New Masters Academy chimed in regarding art books, and they said, we always recommend Glenn Vilpoo's Vilpoo Drawing Manual.
Yes, thank you.
It's the gold standard for figure drawing.
Is that your son reading the questions?
It's my son and my business partner, yes.
There's two people here reading questions.
Yes, one is my son, one is my business partner.
Sup, I'm the kid.
And I'm the business partner.
And brother-in-law.
And brother-in-law, yep.
Our wives are sisters.
With your powers combined.
So there's a horse.
A Facebook comment. Hi, sir. I am 29 years old and I lost my job 2 months ago. I'm an illustrator and an aspiring concept artist. I'm feeling really demotivated lately. I don't know where to start. I recently bought your courses.
Well, I'm glad you got the courses. And, you know, I've gone through it. I've gone through it a couple of times, and it's hard, especially when you've lost a job. I've lost my job several times over in my career. Just know it takes persistence. You know, I do this lecture called Persistence of Vision, and it's really about having this vision to want to create, and you just keep persisting in it, and doors will continue to open. Bad things happen, great things happen, but through it all, you just persist through all of it. You step through the door when it presents itself, and you know, if you're creating and you're good at what you're creating, and you just love what you do, the opportunities will be there.
Someone asked, what size Bimoji brush pen?
This is medium, and it's a synthetic brush. It's not the felt tip.
It's the synthetic brush medium, not the felt tip, for anybody that didn't hear that.
Yes.
You know, speaking of horses, I showed my son last night for the first time. I figured he was about the right age, and he loved it. The Never Ending Story. And man, that Swampstein with that white horse. You know, when Artak, the horse, gets stuck in the swamp, Aaron?
Yeah.
Not a dry eye in the house.
No.
But I was just, first of all, that's a beautiful horse in that movie. Yeah, he really is. And I was just, you know, I had a new appreciation for that scene working with you all these years. And it was, man, that was such a well-behaved horse.
Oh, yeah. He was getting his carrots. So there we go. So there's one. We got one down. A little horse drawing. And so hopefully, you know, we'll be doing a lot of this. I'm going to be drawing on newsprint. We're going to be drawing on different, I'm going to bring some watercolors. We're going to bring some different mediums to the New Masters Academy. I'm going to be talking about gesture drawing. We're going to be loose, you know, some loose drawing, gestural drawing, more rendered drawing. We're going to do a lot of different things. So, so there's one right there. Let's get another one in there.
What if you accidentally mess up the drawing? What do you do then?
Start over. Nothing's precious. Nothing is precious. I never hold my drawings precious. Let's do an animal that we might not necessarily draw from life at New Masters Academy, but we will draw at New Masters Academy, this animal. People ask me, what's the hardest animal? What's the hardest animal you've ever learned to draw, you know, from your mind? And I'm drawing it right now. See if you guys can figure it out.
Do you ever draw insects? I love bugs.
Every once in a while. I do like to draw insects. I like to create, when I was a kid, I would create mechanical devices based on insects. And that was really fun.
Also, I want to remind people that after we're done here on this stream in about an hour, we're going to take a little 15-minute break, and then we're going to hop over to the New Masters Academy Discord server, where Aaron's going to be answering questions. And I will post a link to both of those in the chat right now. That is a free-to-join Discord server. People are saying elephant.
Yes.
Oh,
Ellie. Ellie.
Ellen.
Ellen.
Do you think that a beginner can learn the basics exclusively doing digital art?
Yes. Yeah, if you're just talking about concepts, yes. You know,
Now, having said that, you talk a lot about how you find that digital and traditional art bouncing
really
back
do.
and forth help one another, right?
They really do, but from a standpoint of freeing you up, like digital art really has freed me up quite a bit as far as not being afraid to mess up a canvas or something like that. You know, when you start talking about mediums, then you're talking about understanding the medium, and it's different than understanding art concepts. Because art concepts can be, when you can apply your art concepts in any medium. I don't care what you're drawing.
Hi, Aaron.
Hello.
Do you recommend New Masters Academy for beginners learning to draw?
Yes. All of us. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, they've got an amazing body of work as far as courses and collections, and now they've got their New Masters Village. And then there's our website, creatureartteacher.com, as well, where we try to, we've got animal drawing courses, animation courses, all kinds of stuff. We're big believers that, rising tides raise all boats. And, we definitely would be the first to recommend, learn where,
if we don't have it, or if they don't have it, come to us, go to them. We're always cross-promoting as much as we can, because at the end of the day, and I know everybody at New Masters feels the same way I do, it's about the student, and I want the students to have the best experience possible. And one of the things, from my point of view, one of the reasons we started this is that I feel like traditional private art colleges have gotten incredibly cost prohibitive, incredibly expensive. And so especially nowadays, online learning is an incredibly great way of learning if you can't afford to go to college. At the very least, it's an amazing supplement, if not replacement. And so we are always striving to give along with New Masters Academy, we're always striving to give the students the best experience possible.
Daniel follows up. So would you say it's possible to become a decent, hopefully pro artist and never do art outside of digital medium? Let's say the objective is only digital media.
Yeah, a lot of artists do.
And Jem says, I have to say Aaron's lifetime membership is absolutely amazing. Would totally recommend it. Been subscribed for 10 years now, maybe. Oh, thank you, Jem. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Speaking of which, we just recently brought back our lifetime plan for a very limited time, because on August 23rd, we're going to be doing an exclusive online streaming of Aaron's new animated short, Snow Bear. It's going to be the first time we've ever shown it online, but it's exclusively available to lifetime members. And I'll post a link if you're interested in becoming a lifetime member.
I spent 2.5 years making the production of Snow Bear. We've been bopping it around for about 9 years. And then when we finally decided to sit down and I just started making it, I took 2.5 years, and I did it myself. I've always wanted to make my own film, and all that, lifetime of animal drawing and training is really what I tapped into on that. So here we go. So this is, once again, even though this is just a partial drawing of an elephant, I'm thinking about gesture, I'm thinking about flow, I'm thinking about texture, anatomy, a lot of different things. But there's so much complexity with elephants.
Who knows on YouTube says the 23rd, that's my birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Well, that means you might get to see Snow Bear on your birthday if you become a lifetime member. New Masters Academy says, don't miss Snow Bear, and they posted a link to the trailer. Thank you. Dory says, on Twitch says, I just noticed that Aaron is left-handed. As a fellow lefty myself, this really inspires me.
Yay! Yes, I am. 100%. So I'm looking for the right color here, for those of you that are wondering what the heck I'm doing.
And Martin Berger on Facebook says, New Masters has so many great courses for beginners. I especially liked the courses by Sheldon Borenstein. He is such a fun guy and has a great sense of humor. That's awesome.
He's a mushroom.
He's a fun guy. For people who want to know, their website is newmastersacademy.com. I will post a link.
Because I'm using brush pen, I'm not too worried about, if I go out of the lines or anything.
Sorry, actually it's nma.art. I think they both work, but
I'm keeping this very loose. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaker.
Squeaker.
Speaking of your workshop at New Masters Village, again, it's September 14th through 20th, and spots are extremely limited on that. In fact, we're over half sold out now, so there's only 30 spots available. At this point, I think there's only 2 beds available left. So because it's a retreat, like it's a lodging, like you stay there and there's meals and there's food and there's going to be campfires and cookouts. It really is an amazing retreat. In fact, I think we've got a video about it that we're going to run.
Now, just to follow up on what you're just saying about the 2 beds being available, if the beds are gone, you can still camp, or there's off-site lodging as well.
Yes, and they also have RV parking.
RV hookups.
So
exactly.
if you've got an RV or something like that, there's all kinds of they've really thought it through. There's all kinds of different lodging possibilities there. That's a really good point. In fact, let's give everybody. There's a video. Let's show them a taste of what it's gonna be.
The anime hero.
Mm-hmm. And we're back.
And we're back.
Sorry, I think the video conked out on me there. I apologize, everybody.
What the heck, man?
It's live, people.
Dude, we'll do it live.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
Squeak, squeak, yeah, squeak, squeak.
People are saying, oh, wow, that looks cool. That was so relaxing.
There. Getting a nice sense of light.
But you can learn more about that at newmastersvillage.com.
It's .com.
It's .com.
2 questions for New Masters Village. What is the minimum age, and do you actually get to ride those horses? Yes, you can schedule horseback rides, and I believe New Masters Academy is in the chat. They can answer the questions about the minimum age. If I see the answer, I will read it aloud so everyone else can hear as well. And Evan says, wow, New Masters Village, they've really made something truly magical. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. New Master says you must be 18 to book, but you can bring someone over 12 if you are their guardian.
How do you draw birds in flight?
You put their wings out. No, once again, it's once you understand the anatomy, once you understand the movement, once you understand the locomotion, all that stuff, which comes from study, then that's how you do it. There's no way I can just sit here and say, this is how you draw a bird in flight. There's all kinds of different birds. Are you talking about a falcon? Are you talking about a hummingbird? Are you talking about an albatross? There's all kinds of different birds. But once you understand the way they fly, their anatomy understanding is a huge part of that. A bird's wing is just like a person's arm. They have a wrist, they have an elbow, they have fingers and digits and everything else. And when you understand that and how the feathers attach and everything else, then it starts to become, and this is where all the comparative anatomy work comes in that I talk about. Once you start understanding all of that stuff, then it becomes a little bit more, I don't want to say second nature, but you can figure things out a little better.
Aaron does have a video on our YouTube channel where he talks about animating bird and flight mechanics. I
talk about a hummingbird flying. I talk about birds themselves with regular flying wing beats, all kinds of stuff.
We actually have a course on our website, Creature Art Teacher. It's how to draw birds of prey. It is a 55-hour course.
Yeah, I got a lot to say about birds.
And right now it's only $15 because we're running Animal Kingdom Month on CreatureArtTeacher.com. So all of our animal drawing courses are just $15 each or 2 for $20. So the more you buy, the more you save. So for people watching who might want to learn how to draw birds, how to draw wolves, how to draw horses, maybe you want to prep for September's event and bone up on some of your anatomy skills, go to CreatureArtTeacher.com. You can get any animal drawing course for just $15 each or 2 for $20.
That's crazy. But wait, there's more. All right, so I've got basically the shadow shapes in here, and I like keeping it loose. As a matter of fact, I like that pencil coming through like that. I'm debating on whether or not I want to do the brush pen. What do you guys think? Should we do the brush pen? I've got other colors in here I can work.
And it almost looks nice as is, but there is something nice about that black when it goes in.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? Make it pure marker, or what do you
No, I think I'll go in with I'll go in with the brush pen. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. Just gonna do it.
Go for it. He's feeling wild, people. And again, for people joining us that might have tuned in late, we are simulcasting today with New Masters Academy. We're live on their YouTube channel as well as ours, and our Twitch and TikTok and Facebook and all those as well. So we're answering questions from all these platforms. But we're doing
Crazy.
We're doing a special Monday live stream. We normally stream on Fridays, but we're doing a special Monday live stream in collaboration with them to promote Aaron's upcoming in-person artist retreat at New Masters Academy Village. It's newmastersvillage.com if you want to learn more about it. Spots are extremely limited and going fast. So don't wait because it will sell out. It's newmastersvillage.com.
I'm so excited. It's going to be a
man.
blast.
It's going to be amazing.
It's so cool from my point of view. I was taking these workshops and doing all this stuff, back in 1993 when I was a kid in my early 20s. And to be able to be teaching them now is such a cool feeling.
Yeah, Zen Illustrations on Twitch must have just tuned in and said, wait, artist retreat? Yes, in September, Aaron is going to be in Southern Colorado at the brand new Masters Village teaching animal drawing in person. It's going to be amazing. You're going to get to draw horses from life, other animals. There's going to be, it's like a working artist retreat. It's very cool. Go to New Masters Village and learn more about it.
Learn more about it.
How do you know where the shadows go? I know like where the face and head is under the neck and the neck would be shaded, but what about anything else?
Well, I'm always thinking about, when you think about, if you know where all that stuff is, then you're thinking about shape as well, because you have to think about shape and how those forms fit together. And when you know about how the forms fit together, then you can start to think about how the light is going to hit those forms. And so I think about the direction that my light is coming from, and then I imagine how that light is going to hit the form that I have in my head.
And Melodic Chronic says, oh, it's in Colorado? Nice, I'm already there.
Nice.
Well, and again, the off-site lodging might be an option for you if you're a local, depending on how far away you are, of course, because Colorado is vast.
Colorado.
Man, it's beautiful there. That area, especially that southwest Colorado. We have Aaron and I have a brother-in-law that lives not too far from, well, again, Colorado's so big. This time in a car-wise, it actually is pretty far, but it's a very similar vegetation and thing where our brother-in-law lives near the Crestone area, and it's gorgeous there. It's like the mountains and the desert all rolled into one. It's super cool.
Yeah.
Aaron, do you need to study a specific animal or person in detail before drawing, or can you start with a general idea and let your imagination take over?
Well, I mean, you can do whatever you want, right? If you want accuracy, then I recommend doing as much study as you can. And, I'm always studying. I mean, I don't consider myself an expert. I don't in anything, not even animation. I am always a student, and I'm always trying to share what I've learned in that sense. So, you can start drawing. So, I mean, with that in mind, I'm drawing elephants right now, and I've drawn a lot of elephants, and I'm drawing this pretty much from my mind. I've got a little piece of reference that I'm looking at, but I'm changing it up, and I draw elephants. I do character designs with elephants. I've done that in the past, but I'm still learning, and I'll continue to learn.
Do you have any plans for a course on sea life, mammals such as seals, whales, etc., and also fish from small to large, such as sharks, tuna, etc.?
Yes. One of my favorite loves, one of my deepest loves is the ocean and diving, which I haven't done a lot of in the last several years. And I love being on the reef. I love swimming with turtles and sharks and rays and fish and everything else. And it's just one of my just deep loves. And so I'd love to be able to share that. And I've done a little bit of fish painting and marine painting. It doesn't dominate my work as much as it should. And I just love it.
Rebecca on Facebook says, wow, I looked away for a second and then I looked back. Boom, it's an elephant.
Boom. Don't look away.
Let's see if I can get some TikTok questions. Dustin had to step out for a moment. Do you find it easier to draw animals facing one way or the other?
No, I mean it's always a struggle. No, I don't have a left or right dominant. I'm left-handed, and a lot of people assume I like to draw them facing one way or the other because of that. But no, I've gotten to where I don't really mind which way I draw them. My experience with oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, going back to the question about how do you know where to put the shadows, and you kind of addressed this, but somebody basically asked a similar question again, so I was just going to respond to it. Part of knowing where to put the shadows is understanding the forms.
Yeah,
right?
That's all of doing the shadows. You have to understand the form. You can't put the shadows in there without understanding the form, because the shadows are created by the form.
Now, I think it's worth pointing out that Aaron's approach to anatomy, as he was talking about earlier, really is, highly focused on comparative anatomy. Like you think about masses and shapes. You're not necessarily concerned.
I'm not an expert on this. Is the I know major muscle groups and major muscles like latissimus and deltoids and mastoids and all these different things, but I don't stress all that kind of stuff. I stress the masses and understanding the form of the mass. I don't care if you know the name of it.
Or the name of this bone or that bone.
Yeah,
it's not really...
It's really understanding the masses and how those masses and parts relate to us on, humans. When you understand your parts and how they relate to an animal, you can start to understand when you start drawing an animal, oh, this is his chest, or this is his tricep muscle. And and when you understand that, then you know where it is on your body, and you can you start to understand how to kind of maybe change that muscle to fit the animal.
I'm learning how to draw big cats. I really like big cats.
Oh, that's great. I've got a big cat course on my website.
Yep.
How to draw big cats.
New Masters Academy says, every chance you get to hold a pencil, take it.
Yes, always. I couldn't agree more.
And Randall asked, did you animate any of the elephants by chance in The Lion King?
I did not. No, I created, designed, and animated Nala, young Nala, and then I did a little bit of animation on adult Simba, and a little bit of animation on young Simba.
And you did the when they're riding the ostriches too.
I
right?
did, yeah. I animated the ostriches.
Yeah.
I designed them too.
During Just Can't Wait to Be King, right?
Mm-hmm.
The song.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So when you did that shot, did you do both Simba and Nala because they're riding next to each other?
Yeah.
Aaron also designed and animated Raja the tiger in Aladdin.
I did, yeah.
And he directed Brother Bear. And so it kind of came up the other day about whether you designed the characters. You did the initial character designs.
I did. I did the initial designs that the supervising animators then came on and kind of took off with them. I didn't do the final designs, no.
Daniel says, I noticed that you focus on creatures. If you knew you'd focus mostly on that, would you have only bothered to learn animal anatomy? And how did you keep yourself motivated while learning the basics at the beginning?
No, I've drawn animals, humans. My love is animal drawing, but I've been learning animal and human anatomy my entire life. So I've always done both. I just love art in general. So, and I'm always motivated. I'm always, I never get tired. I'm still, even though I'm 57 years old, I'm still like a little kid. I love to sit down with my crayons and draw.
Did you animate any of Brother Bear or just direct?
No, I did a little bit of animation in there as well. A lot of the stuff when he first wakes up as a bear, the very first time he opens his eyes and he sees Tanana step up in the frame, I animated Tanana in that shot.
When she's hitting him and like,
No, not that.
I don't speak bear.
No, I didn't do that. No, when she walks towards him, it's from his point of view. And when she's dabbing his head and wringing out the rag and all that stuff. And then when he's looking around after she leaves and he hears the chipmunks talking, I animated him in those sections. And then he looks up and he hears the geese talking.
But in addition to directing, you also developed and wrote the story.
I did, yes. I'm glad we used I'm glad I chose to use the brush pen in here. It's fun to, when you get a nice kind of base down with marker and pencil and all that, it's fun to get in there and kind of define it with the brush pen.
Hey, Aaron, I've seen some viral posts online that say the stampede scene from Lion King took years to animate. Is there truth to this?
No, that's not true. Now, there was a lot of time developing it. The stampede sequence was the wildebeest were CG. Now, to create the CG wildebeest, Ruben Aquino was who created and supervised adult Simba in the film. Ruben Aquino went onto the film about a year and a half before any of the other animators. And he went on and gathered reference for all that time and worked with the CG artists because they knew that they were going to have that CG stampede. And he gathered, and I've still got them, he gathered these big binders of printed out animal locomotion, sort of like MyBridge books, but printed off of video. And I've got 3 big binders of all of those printouts that he did. And so that being said, we had that nice resource when we came onto the film. But what he also did was that he designed the wildebeests that were in the stampede, and then he animated them running toward camera and running in profile, hand drawn. And then those were given to the CG artists that were able to take those drawings and use them as reference, and they created a model and a rig, and they were able to animate it. And so what they were able to do, this is very early, like herding and schooling type technology for the animation. So when they had this thing where if there's 2 models running next to each other, if they got within a certain distance of each other, they would turn away. But once they got a certain distance apart, they would come back. And so what you end up with is this herd that's constantly moving. I think it's a herd of several hundred wildebeest. They're constantly, moving back and forth, but there's programming in there to keep them from getting too far apart and too close together so they don't run through each other. And it did take...
The technology took years.
I'm sure. The better part of a year to get everything pulled together to do it. But no, it didn't take years and years to do that. I was on the film a total amount of time of about 13 months, I think.
So if you do animation on a lion like Nala, do you know how lions run and walk? I'm still learning, and I want to start animating lions and big cats.
Of course. That's incredibly important. You can't animate something that's specialized like a lion without understanding lions. And so one of the things we did when we started The Lion King was we brought real lions into the studio. And then we also brought our entire artistic crew to the Miami Metro Zoo because we were based in Florida. There was also a crew based in California, but we went to the Miami Metro Zoo for 2 days, and they took us behind the scenes, and we drew elephants and lions and hippos and rhinos and giraffes and all kinds of cool stuff. And then we also had the artistic leadership of the film actually went to Africa and brought back tons of reference. So all that being said, it was all about educating ourselves about lions and lion anatomy and elephants and everything else that, you know, was going to be animated in that film. And so, and to this day, I still love to go to the place because I love drawing animals. I go to the places where these animals live, whether it's Africa, Alaska, Wyoming, Montana.
Colorado.
I love Colorado. I love, you know, going to these places. But if you can't get there, one of the best substitutes you can do is to draw from video. And so I'm going to be bringing video with me as well from a lot of these places that we've gone to over the years.
Yeah, we actually shoot reference when that's why we do these trips primarily, is to shoot reference, and then we have that for years and years to feast off of for Aaron to draw.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
Those trips are fun.
Nick and I are getting ready to release, and we're not ready yet, but we're getting ready to release an entire reference pack on animal locomotion.
New Masters Village question. This might be for New Masters Academy to answer in the chat from Kim C. Is New Masters Village only taking 30 people total for the class, or do they have 30 beds on site? There was mention of an option for off-site lodging. So does that mean 30 people can sign up, more than 30 people can sign up for the class? I do know, no, the class is limited to 30. I think there's only 15 beds, so it's half, but they can correct me on that. But the class is limited to 30 people. Oh, we're getting a raid on Twitch. It's an Alley Cat raid.
Holy moly.
Hello.
By the way, have you worked with somebody named Richard Williams?
I never got to work with Richard Williams. I wish I could have.
Daniel says, wouldn't it be cheaper to just watch a documentary as opposed to going to those places?
That's a good question. A lot of people ask me that. It would be a ton cheaper. But what would the experience be? You'd be sitting there watching a television screen. There is so much more than just looking at a television screen or a computer screen to understanding how animals move, understanding the environment that they come from. Because, you know, especially with Lion King, it wasn't just the animals. It was, you know, the environment was a character as well. So when you go to these places, you smell the smells, you feel the temperature, you feel the air, you see the animals, you see them in 3 dimensions. You feel the grass, you feel all these different things, and you learn things that you'll never would have learned had you not gone there. And those things that you learn, more often than not, they make it into the story. You know, when I went to Alaska for Brother Bear, one of the things we did, first of all, it was an amazing experience. I watched, drew, and photographed literally hundreds and hundreds of wild grizzly bears. One of the things we did, there's a place called Turnagain Arm just south of Anchorage, in this place where the ocean comes in, and the wind whips through here. It's a valley. It's kind of a bay valley. And the wind really picks up through there and really accelerates up to 50, 60 miles an hour. And there is a point where Chuck Williams, Tim Hodge, and myself, we were 3 of the people on the trip. We were standing up on this big rock face, and as the wind was whipping up this rock face, we could lean right into the wind, and it would hold us up, and it was such a cool experience. And so much so that we put it in the movie. And so that's part of the film. And, you know, when Kenai and Coda are and they're singing On My Way, there's a scene where they're in the wind, leaning into standing up on the cliff face, leaning into the wind.
That made it into the trailer. That made it
into the trailer, into the film, everything. And that was a, you know, that wouldn't have happened had we not been there.
And just to reiterate, New Masters Academy just says, yeah, we have 30 spots total. There are limited beds on site. There's still a couple left. But we also have camping and RV parking available, or you have the option to stay off site if you prefer.
So here we got an elephant. There's our little elephant drawing.
Manu Carrasco's in the chat. Hey, Manny.
Speaking of Africa, my brother Manny Carrasco, he is, you want to see an animal artist, go check out Manny Carrasco. Go look at his work, and you'll be amazed.
Actually, mind if I add my own 2 cents on the comparing like going like being on location?
Sure.
Because
Okay, cuz.
um yeah, because I remember growing up with that always like going on these trips to Alaska and Africa and hearing all these fantastic stories.
They're
And
fantastic.
my only experience with that is watching the documentaries of these places, and more specifically, for recently, like a few years ago, is Tales by the Light on Netflix. Just beautiful sceneries, and I just always kept thinking, I can't imagine what it's like being there.
Yeah.
And I was finally able to get that opportunity with Dad and Nick during our trip to Africa.
And Manu.
Back with NA and
Yeah.
the whole gang to the Masai Mara back in 2021. And I gotta tell you, those documentaries don't do it justice.
They don't do it justice, do they?
No.
No.
Because it's my first time really experiencing that third world experience, getting that third world experience of like to the point of like we hop in a twin prop plane, a little puddle hopper, leaving the city of Nairobi, and we end up landing on a dirt path.
Yeah.
Not a paved runway. It was literally just a dirt runway.
Yeah.
No radio towers, no terminals. You step off the plane, and there's nothing around.
There's elephants. There's giraffe, and it's wild.
And
Yeah.
we jumped right into the safari right off the bat.
Yeah.
And in fact, for called the cheetah that you're drawing right now, it's the photo I got from that very day that we arrived in the Masai Mara.
Let me talk about the cheetah real quick.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing experience. What I'm trying to do here, you'll notice that the first thing I drew in here was that gestural swoop through there, and in this kind of triangular shape. And what's really nice about this is this shape here, this gesture where the head, there's this S shape coming through the body like that. And that's what I'm really focusing on there. Sorry, Dustin, go ahead.
Oh no, but yeah, and just everything, all the experiences that we had there. We were there for 10 days.
10 days.
And every day we were on safari. Well, at least I was out there every day. And Dad had to stay behind a few times because the bumpy roads was.
We only stayed back one day.
Yeah.
We only stayed back one day.
I thought I stayed back like 2 days.
Nope, it was only once.
Anyway, but yeah, just seeing, and during those safaris, seeing the leopard, seeing lions, and seeing elephants, and it takes a moment. You take a moment to let it sink in that you're not at a zoo.
Yeah.
You're not in your living room watching documentary.
It feels like you're watching the Discovery Channel.
Yeah, it's hard to believe like we were out there with wild lions, with wild elephants.
Yes.
And well, I think, to bring it back to the retreat for a second, I think there's something to be said about getting out into nature, period.
That's the point.
Yeah, and I think that, that's going to be one of the great opportunities about this event in Colorado is, you're drawing, you're learning, you're studying, but you're immersing yourself in the environment, and you're connecting. Aaron talks about this a lot. His sketchbooks aren't just technical exercises. They take him back in time. He remembers feeling the air when he did that drawing.
Yeah, they're little time capsules. And when you sit down and when you go out on location, wherever you might be, and you do these drawings, and then you come back years later, when you're sitting there drawing, doing observational drawing, especially if you're out in nature, you remember that experience. It comes back to you. You're burning it into your brain.
Yeah.
And it's a great way of kind of remembering your experiences.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't recommend it enough. If you want to learn more about this event, go to newmastersvillage.com. It's September 14th through 20th. Drawing and painting animals in Colorado, out in nature, with Aaron Blaise. I can't recommend that you check it out enough. Spots are limited. And Aaron, we are at the 2:15 mark, so obviously I know you got this image to go, but
Yep,
I'm just
going to do this one, and then...
what do you think about selling these, or do we plan on selling these?
Sure, we'll sell these. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll. If you're interested in owning one of the drawings Aaron did today, we're going to post them on our website later this evening. They'll be available at creatureartteacher.com/originals.
Well, that was a fast hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I want to remind people that may have joined late, right after this stream, we're going to take a 15-minute break, and then we are going to hop over to the New Masters Academy Discord server, and we're going to be there. Aaron's going to be, it's going to be like a Q&A session. So you can ask Aaron, and it's sort of an Ask Me Anything style session on the New Masters Academy Discord. And I will post a link to that in the chat right now.
I hope I'm drawing this right, Manny.
If anybody's interested in seeing the photos I got during that trip to Africa, you can find them on my Instagram at Dustin_Blaze. But also on Creature Art Teacher, I have a reference of the Africa wildlife that I got out there.
Yeah, you have on our website, you have a ton of artist reference packs, as well as a course on Introduction to Wildlife Photography.
Oh, thank you, Mari. Mari says, I like when Dustin does character voices.
We're going to focus on animal drawing today.
The Blue Danube says, I saw that you were the character designer for Nala. She's my favorite character, and I was wondering what it was like designing such a beautiful character.
It was a lot of fun. Matter of fact, one of the big inspirations for Nala was my daughter at the time. My daughter was about 3 years old when I created Nala, and she's in her 30s now, but she still tells everybody that she's Nala from The Lion King. It was pretty cool. You get inspiration from everywhere. And so my daughter was a big inspiration, along with obviously, lions and all of that.
How did Aaron learn to draw? Any advice how to start?
Yeah, you pick up a pencil, pick up a pen, grab some paper, and you start. That's how I learned. I just started drawing. I've been drawing my whole life. And there's tons of lessons out there, like New Masters Academy, our site, YouTube, everywhere. There's all kinds of stuff. And so, we always say if you just got to start getting that paper dirty. And, that's how you start to learn.
What is your favorite thing to draw?
I love drawing big cats, obviously. You can see here. I love drawing horses, elephants, everything that I'm drawing today. I just love bigger animals. Sorry, I'm looking for a nice color I'm trying to go a little bit quicker now. So I'm just kind of laying this in a little quick.
There's one more question.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, sure. Is there a specific reason for using a red pencil?
No, it's just what I had handy. It makes it's not dark. It makes a nice underdrawing.
It blends well.
Yeah, you blend.
Oh, sure, yeah, blend.
Citizen Zero wants to know, are you going to play guitar and maybe some music there in Colorado?
Hey, Citizen Zero, how are you? Probably not.
Well, you're going to be sitting out by a campfire. It's hard for me to
Yeah.
imagine you're not going to bust out the guitar.
Well, I'm not going to bring my guitar though. There's
I
a
bet you
guitar
they
there,
might
I
have some
play
on
it.
hand.
Yeah.
NMA, let's get on it.
Well,
Aaron does a mean Margaritaville. I've seen it.
That's right.
that's a fun one to play. Have you animated any movies?
Have I animated any movies?
Yeah.
Yes. I have animated a few. I worked on Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Rescuers Down Under, Pocahontas, Mulan, The Lion King. I directed Brother Bear. I worked on 2 Roger Rabbit short cartoons. I directed How to Hunt a House with Donald, Mickey, and Goofy.
How to Hunt a House.
New Masters Academy posted a couple of interesting things. One is they said, interesting fact, the ancient Egyptians actually used red as their underdrawings color and also did
Yes.
black over that. So you're
just-
following in a good tradition there, Aaron.
Oh, yes.
And then they also said guitar, check, done.
How do we get into the Discord server?
I will post the link. If you're watching on TikTok, I can't post the link. That's the problem.
If you're on TikTok, you gotta go on one of the other.
Did we get shadow banned on TikTok or there?
No. There's
still
people
folks
on there. I don't know what the count is, but there's
There's a it's a small group, but it's over 300. There's folks walking.
There we go.
That's a good size.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere. Go over to YouTube or Facebook and get your link.
Aaron, are you going to ride horses while you're there?
If they can take a 230-pound guy,
Hopefully that a horse.
You might lose another 10 by then.
I might actually. I'll probably lose another 10 by then. I've lost 60 pounds over the last 8 months.
Good for you, man. Any non-mammals you enjoy drawing, like reptiles? What are your favorites?
I like drawing anything, to be honest with you.
You did a really awesome drawing of a bearded dragon that's in your art book. I love that drawing.
Oh yeah, the bearded dragon was fun.
I love
Now,
your
let's see how-
shading.
Queen Keisha says, "Hey, Aaron. Hey, everybody. We've got
a
people
reference
just
right here.
joining us. For those just tuning in, Aaron is doing some animal drawing. Just watch your head a little bit there, Aaron.
Yeah.
You're good.
Are you a lefty?
I am a lefty.
Sketchy Adventure asks, I primarily draw architecture. What animals are good to start practicing with, would you recommend?
Your pet. The best animals to start learning how to draw. If you have a pet, draw your dog, draw your cat, draw your fish. And if you don't have a pet, you can draw anything. Go outside and draw pigeons in the park.
Go to the zoo if you
Draw a
can.
squirrel. Go to the zoo.
Nausicaa 2213 asks, who did you animate for Pocahontas?
I animated Pocahontas. That's the second time that question has come up today.
Did it come up earlier?
By the way, Nausicaa.
Oh, it came up in the morning meeting.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Aaron, how do you use contour lines?
Exactly. It's in the name. I follow the contour.
It's all the reflexes.
No, I follow the contour of the animal.
The contour being the outer shape.
The
right?
shape, yep, the general shape of the animal, and you know that's how I do that.
Would you do a dark or evil drawing one time?
I've done a few. I tend to do those at Halloween.
Yeah, every Halloween it's been a tradition.
Yeah, because I'm not into dark art. You know, I like wildlife and nature. And,
We've done a zombie bear.
yeah, the
We've
zombie
done
bear was actually fun.
We've done the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the giant chalk mural one that you did. Our friend Reese.
Yeah.
And that was on there for a while. I think it was like over a year, 2 years.
A couple of years. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on independent animation?
I love it because that's what I do. I'm an independent animator.
We just finished our hand-drawn independent animated short called Snow Bear, and
Yes,
it's in
we
film
did.
festivals right now.
I am all about it. Matter of fact, I think, especially with 2D, I think it is the wave of the future. I think we're going to see a lot more independent 2D animated films out there.
Have you? Oh, sorry. Have you done much with underwater or ocean life? Is it any more difficult?
No, it's no more difficult than doing land animals. You just need to know, once you understand and know your subject matter, then you're good to go. You know, it has all the same hurdles and everything else that you've got to understand the animal itself. You've got to understand, especially with underwater, you know, you got to understand atmospherics with you know, the debris in the water and how things recede, you know, atmospherically, and all kinds of different things.
A big fan here from Chile.
Hey, I love Chile.
Do you
Been to
like-
Santiago a couple of times.
Do you like Hayao Miyazaki?
Yes. Of course, I've actually met him. I sat with him at Studio Ghibli in Tokyo. I went and sat with him and we talked.
Are there any animals you're afraid of?
Polar bears. I have a healthy respect for all animals. But
We are going to be drawing polar bears in the wild soon.
yes, we are. We're going to be in Churchill,
Yeah.
Manitoba. Polar bears are, you know, they're opportunistic. You know, when you live in the Arctic, you've got to pretty much eat whatever you can find. And so if you're out in the Arctic and a polar bear sees you, you better find some cover.
You're going to be the next dinner.
Yeah.
Are you going to draw the spots on the cheetah?
I am drawing the spots on the cheetah as we speak.
Are you going to draw the spots on the cheetah?
I think it's the delay getting you there. Scribble Mouse Scribble says, "Oh, I'm late for the stream." Yeah, we are actually wrapping up in a few minutes, but we want to let you know, for those just joining us, Aaron is going to be. We're doing animal drawing today. We're answering animal drawing questions. Right after the stream, we are simulcasting with the New Masters Academy. We're going to be jumping over to their Discord server, and Aaron's going to be answering questions there. I'll post a link. But this is all in celebration of his upcoming workshop in Southern Colorado, September 14th through 20th. It's nearly sold out, but there are still some spots left. So if you are interested in drawing with Aaron in person, drawing animals from life, go to newmastersvillage.com and learn more. It is going to be an
It's gonna be a blast.
amazing 5 days, an artist retreat, your chance to learn from Aaron, to experience nature, to be immersed in a beautiful environment. You know, it really is something really special they've put together. Go to newmastersvillage.com to learn all about it. And when we do wrap up here, jump on over to the Discord server, and we'll be answering questions and having a good time over there.
Lily asks, can I have a low skill level to attend the animation camp?
Yes.
Anybody can come.
Absolutely.
Now, keep in mind, the one coming up in November, that animation camp, that is for intermediate. So it's not an absolute beginner. But the ones that we have sold out that we're going to be doing this week, actually, we're starting this week. Those are beginners, and we will do more. If there's a demand for it, we'll do more.
You guys have a Discord server?
New Masters Academy does, and Creature Art Teacher does as well. If you become a member to Creature Art Teacher, you get access to our Discord server. The New Masters Academy Discord server, I believe, is open to everybody.
Oh, they're a lot cooler than us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, on TikTok. Asked, all-time favorite animation you've done with Disney and least favorite.
My all-time favorite was the bandaging sequence. in Beauty and the Beast. That was one of my biggest break I've ever gotten, and it was a lot of fun to do. I don't really have a least favorite.
I know you've said in the past Pocahontas was challenging from an animation standpoint,
Yeah,
right? In
but
terms
I don't
of,
really have a least favorite, like I
Right.
said.
Have you ever worked with Joe Rhodes?
Yeah, Joe Rohde.
Joe, they wrote. I read it as Rhodes because they put an S on the end of it.
Yeah, it's Joe Rohde. But yes, I have.
Have you drawn sun bears lately?
Not lately.
Sun bears.
And Addie asks, I animate on my phone. I have an app called Flip-A-Clip. Do you know if that's a good app for starters?
Yes, it is a good app for starters. It's great. It's a great introduction to animation.
Flip-A-Clip.
I've got Flip-A-Clip on my phone. Or I had it on my phone.
YouTube comment, I just want everybody to appreciate how easily Aaron is laying those spots down.
It's very time consuming, but I know I'm trying to go fast.
What's best for animating on a phone or a tablet? I would say a tablet because it's better to animate on the biggest screen you can get.
Yeah, phone screen's just too tiny. What character did you animate in Mulan?
I created Yao from the Gang of Three and the Ancestors.
Yeah, Aaron designed and animated Yao and all the ancestor ghosts.
That's what I just said.
No, I know. I was just
And there's
repeating
nothing
it.
good can do about it. What pen are you using?
This is a Bimoji brush pen.
Are they
They're
a personal
really
favorite
great. What's that?
brand? Are they a personal favorite brand?
They are.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. How do you decide when to use thin or thicker lines? Is it based on value or converging lines?
It's first of all, it's completely up to you. A lot of times, I just do it just to add interest, but sometimes you might do a thicker line on the underside to indicate, especially if you're just doing line work, to indicate shadow. You could do it. There's any number of reasons, and when, as far as when you would do that.
And we are getting close to wrapping up here, everybody. We're at the 90-minute mark. When Aaron finishes this drawing, we're going to take a brief break, and then we're going to jump over to the New Masters Academy Discord server. That's really looking nice, Aaron.
Thanks. Yeah, I probably got about 15 more minutes on this, and then we'll be done.
It is great news. Do you have any merch?
We sure do.
CreatureArtTeacher.com/merch.
What's your best tip on drawing big cats?
Understand the anatomy. That's my tip for any animal. Every animal has its own specific anatomy, just like humans have their own specific anatomy. And so when you get to understand that, then you'll understand the gestural aspects of it. You'll understand how the different parts come together. You understand the proportions and all of the different things that come together to make good animal drawing. And so it all comes down to just understanding that animal and doing your homework.
Twitch question. Aaron, do you know the individual or individuals who painted the backgrounds in Brother Bear?
I know everybody that painted the backgrounds in Brother Bear. Everybody in the entire department.
Because you hired them.
Yeah, well, I didn't hire them, but because they were already part of the crew.
Well, I mean, like JG, right? You specifically wanted them to.
Yeah, I brought them onto the film, if that's
Right.
what you mean, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you want to elaborate on the JG thing?
Yeah, so JG was our production designer, and it was, Bob Walker, my co-director, and I, we attended a show, a painting show at Disney, where all everybody was just showing their work. And JG, who was one of the background painters, had his work up, and it was just incredibly beautiful. And so much so that we decided right there that's what we wanted the movie to look like. And so we went to Jay and said, hey, can you teach the rest of the crew of the background painters to paint like this? And he said, sure. So he did. He took several months, and they all started learning how to paint like Jay. And so that look, the look of the backgrounds in Brother Bear, those are specifically in the style of JG.
When did you realize drawing was what you wanted to do?
It's so long ago, I don't remember. I've always wanted to draw. I've always wanted to be an artist, since I could hold a pencil, since the early 70s, since I was a little kid.
How do you make the fur on big cats look so clean?
Practice, practice, practice.
Practice.
Every 99% of the time, the answer to a lot of the questions is practice. It's doing homework. It's doing it a lot. The more you do something, the more you learn, right? It's just like anything else. If you want to, my old adage is, if you want to be a great soccer player, you play a lot of soccer. You want to be a great baseball player, you play a lot of baseball. And if you want to be a great artist at anything, whether it's painting fur or anything, then you draw it a lot, you paint it a lot, and you make discoveries, you make mistakes, you learn from your mistakes, and you move on. And that's how any of us learn anything. I didn't start out painting everything perfect. I started out painting things badly, drawing things badly, but I love drawing them, so I learned from it, and I tried different things. I love painting the grass. It's freeing and it's spontaneous.
Do you have any art to show from when you were a kid?
I don't. When I was 17, my house burnt down. And all of my art burned up. So all I have is art from college forward. And even a lot of that is gone because I've sold it. I had to sell a lot of my art to make money in order to pay my rent when I was younger, and so I don't hold on to a lot of my art. I've got some of my college exercises and classroom assignments and things like that, but as far as any kind of studio work that I've done over the last 37, 38 years, it's all gone. Yeah, I've sold most of it to make a living. The one thing I can say is I've been a professional artist for most of my life, and so as a professional, you're selling your work. So yeah, so as a result, I don't have a lot of stuff left over.
By the way, I want to remind people that we're going to be jumping over from this stream. We're going to take about a 10 to 15 minute break. Then we're going to jump over to the New Masters Academy Discord server. I'm going to repost the link here in the chat. You might want to click it and join a little early because it takes a little bit. If you don't already have an account, you have to join the server and all that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and post that now. If you want to go ahead and click it and get registered now, it'll give you an opportunity to wait kind of in the stage area, they call it. And then Aaron will be on shortly.
And I am going to go ahead and call this done.
That looks great. He signed it, people.
That means it's done. So let's do a quick review. So we got this guy. We did that. We've got our elefante, which was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. And we've got our horse of a different color. There. So there you go. There's a little bit of animal drawing. We'll be doing a lot more animal drawing in Colorado. Colorado.
Yeah, and if you're interested in joining Aaron and learning to draw animals from life in person, don't forget, go to newmastersvillage.com. You can learn all about it. Spots are extremely limited. They've been selling out really fast, but there are still some spots available. There's still a couple of lodging spots available, or if you're interested in doing RV or camp parking, there's still some opportunities there. You can go to newmastersvillage.com and learn all about it. Other than that, Aaron, anything else you want to add before we
I'll see you over at the Discord.
Yeah, we'll see you over on
Thanks for hanging out, you guys.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. We're going to wrap it here. I want to run one more time the testimonials so people who might have joined late can get a sense of what it's like to be a part of one of these New Master Academy retreats. And thanks for watching, everybody. Go to newmastersvillage.com, learn more. Go to creatureartteacher.com if you want to get more courses from Aaron. And hopefully we will see you in person in September. We will see you in a couple weeks, everybody, for another live stream. Stay tuned.
Just absolutely transformative.